Mad Adam's Mad Money.
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Mad Money. On this episode, we're going to be talking about LightPayCoin again. If you've watched my previous episodes, you'll have a decent understanding of what LightPayCoin is and that LPC is a proof-of-stake masternode coin. I won't go too deep into those topics. If you need, I can create specific episodes just for those topics, covering more in-depth of what proof-of-stake is and what masternodes are in more finite detail. But the goal of this channel is to kind of give a layman's overview of topics so that everyone can understand them. So follow along. We're gonna go a bit deeper into what LPC is. So as you can see from their website here, it's due for some updates, and they're starting to work on those updates. But the website is going to get a fresh facelift to reflect the professionalism of the team, because it is a very professional team. So let's take a look at their white paper. So this white paper they've recently updated as of last month, and it's very well laid out. It's got some overview information, what LPC is meant to be used for. So let's get into that first. So why it was LPC created when there are already so many different forks of Bitcoin and other projects out there? Well, there's plenty of coins that intend to be used as payments, as well as a bunch of other different uses for blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. LightPayCoin wants to do things a little bit more specialized, I guess is the right word. Using obfuscation and SwiftTX and some other protocols that are built into there, including this Zero Coin under PIVX. The founder of LPC, Dr. Damon Bryant, he wanted to create a cryptocurrency that can be used for payments, not just like Bitcoin is online and on computers and smartphones and whatnot, but in brick and mortar shops. And more to the point, LPC is intended to be used for ATMs, crypto ATMs. Now, LPC is partnered with some other projects out there to provide for atomic swaps. So these ATMs that are being developed will have the capability of trading, depositing, and withdrawing between select other cryptocurrencies other than just LPC. But the ATMs, essentially, you'll be able to deposit and withdraw LPC into and from fiat. So go to the ATM and deposit cash monies from your checking account and turn it into LPC and watch it grow as a proof of stake. So aside from the ATMs, they're also developing their point of sale systems, and all of this development is being done currently at the University of Central Florida. They have a 5-year agreement, or partnership rather, with UCF to do all of the research, design, development, and production of their point of sale systems and ATMs, both software and hardware wise. But the main goal of the work at UCF, because they're partnered specifically with the psychology department, among other departments, is to do a lot of the UI and human-computer interaction studies. So because Dr. Damon Bryant is a PhD in psychology and an alumnus and former professor of UCF, his focus is in usability and user interfaces. And if you've ever used Bitcoin Core or any of the wallet applications of the Bitcoin forks, you'll know the struggles. Those applications, including the current LightPayCoin wallet application, they're so outdated. They look like they're made for Windows 95, and it's not set up for people who aren't already intrinsically aware and educated in cryptocurrency. If you're just Joe Schmo down the street, or if you're a grandmother or just a working person and you want to be able to make use of the benefits of crypto without all of the confusion, you can't use these wallets. They're just not intended for that audience. So he's Dr. Damon. He's trying to create a new paradigm for cryptocurrencies via the user interfaces to make it more approachable for everybody. So these point of sales and ATM systems, they're all going to be created using these designed UIs from UCF to make it very approachable, very usable, and just easy and quick, straightforward, and all that. So that's what the research at UCF is geared towards. Going down, they cover a bit about what blockchain is and proof of stake and what masternodes are. I invite you to read the white paper to get some of that information. And if you need to, again, I invite you to drop some comments at this video asking for any coverage of any topics you would like. Now, one special thing about LightPayCoin that I had yet previously encountered is this obfuscation. Obfuscation is a funny word. Essentially what it means is to mask. In software engineering, we talk about obfuscation in terms of code and making code harder to read or to follow. There are many different reasons why you'd want to do that. Obfuscation in the crypto world allows people to make transactions, be those transfers or purchases, anonymously, which means that you can't track those transactions to a given crypto wallet. So if I've got LPC and I want to purchase something and I don't want that purchase to be able to be tracked back to my wallet, I can use obfuscation to mask that transaction and mix it in with a bunch of other transactions so that it gets to be much, 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 much more difficult to trace back that transaction to me. There are good and bad reasons for doing such things. Of course, everyone knows that things like Silk Road and the black market and whatnot want an anonymity. But what about governments? What if governments started using crypto? And it would probably not be the best thing if everybody could track every purchase of a government. Maybe you want the transparency, maybe the government doesn't want the transparency, but be that as it may, LightPayCoin, it has baked in the ability to obfuscate your transactions. Now, moving on a little bit, this SwiftTX, it's a really interesting protocol that's built into LPC. It essentially allows instant transfers or transactions. Now, are they actually instant? No. Compared to Bitcoin, though, they are. Bitcoin can take anywhere up to an hour or two, depending on the transaction fees that you pay on a given transaction. But LPC, we're going to reduce that down to a second to 5 seconds. No matter how much you're transferring, no matter where you're transferring it to. The confirmations happen every 60 seconds. Every 60 seconds, there's a block made on the chain. So that means that the longest it will take for a given transaction to confirm is a minute. But with SwiftTX, that really gets reduced because as soon as a transaction hits the blockchain, it essentially pre-confirms it and then lets the confirmation continue in the background. So it kind of uses masternodes to credit the account of the person transferring to. And that's why there are all these nodes in the network and why more nodes means a more balanced, faster network, because it allows that collateral to speed up the transactions through things like SwiftTX. Further down in the white paper, we have the roadmap. The roadmap is updated as of last month, and we're making really steady progress here. Let's take a look. We are currently, it looks like, in stage 5, but there's a lot of things that are done in certain stages ahead of time, some things that are still being worked on. In stage 5, you see R&D partnerships, local store partnerships. In stage 6, you see masternode service listings, website improvement. So they're working on starting the website improvements. The masternode services partnerships, those are already, there are already some partnerships like the Gin platform and so forth that are already set. In stage 5, you'll see R&D partnerships here, UCF, that's the research and development currently. Local store partnerships. One of the recent announcements that Damon made in a webinar was that, and I believe this was last week in mid-September, there for the point-of-sale devices and systems, there are already several retailers that have signed up to join the pilot program for testing out the point-of-sale systems during the alpha testing phase. So these POS systems are due to be released into alpha testing by the end of December. And that's just a few months away. And once that happens, we'll be starting these pilot programs for these retailers to actually install the software and possibly specialized hardware in their stores to test the system for brick and mortar payments using LPC. That's a really big deal. But on top of that, there will also be point of sale APIs to enable online marketplaces to use LPC as payment options. So as you can see, we've got a bit of a mix of stage 5 and stage 6 going right here, but we're really working quickly. The team is really just knocking out these tasks left and right. So making really swift progress on the roadmap. As far as specification goes here, you'll see some of the information. The masternode collateral, as I've stated before, is 1,000 LPC. Let's see what else. Masternode reward and staking rewards. There's another chart here. Here we go, profit diagram. You'll see the reward breakdowns depending on the block range. So depending on the block height currently on the chain, you can determine what phase we're in. And so let's say we're in phase 15, you'll see that the masternode reward is a little over 16 LPC, and the staking reward is 28.5% to the masternode reward of 71.5%. So every block is going to be rewarded 23 coins. 71% of those are going to go to the masternodes, and 28% is going to go towards staking. So if I'm not mistaken, that means approximately 7-ish coins for a staking reward. Not doing that math off the top of my head very well, but you can see the balance as we progress in block height. The weight of rewards will go from being more staking heavy to more masternode heavy as the rewards actually decrease. So we start at the first phase. The masternode reward is 70%, but the staking reward is 30%. So the staking reward actually increases and then steadily decreases. And as the staking reward decreases, the masternode rewards increase to the point where over 3/4 of every reward on every block is paid out to the masternodes. Even though that reward decreases too, it becomes more profitable to run masternodes than it does to stake. And I'm currently staking right now because it's still kind of in that balance phase between masternode and staking being more profitable. More phases. So if we keep scrolling here, we'll see some interesting information regarding the R&D partnership with UCF. So this goes more in detail about what UCF is being partnered to actually develop and what their goals are. Here at the bottom, you see the acceptance testing, and that's essentially on the UI with the psychology department testing all of the user interfaces for usability. So that's a white paper in a nutshell. We're going to go back. We're going to take a look at their GitHub page for the command line wallet. And as you can see, there's some decent activity going on over the course of the last few months on developing this stuff. The last update was about 20 days ago. They regularly update to fix bugs, to add features, and so forth. So this is the command line wallet. They also have, if you go to their main page and you go to the masternode setup, their fast setup is actually, they have a script that you can run, and I covered this in my masternode setup guide. They have a script that you can run on a Ubuntu machine that will essentially do all of the setup for you for a masternode. And it under the covers, it's actually setting up that command line wallet as well as some other stuff to turn it into a masternode. So this, as you can see this as well, it's updated. The last update was about 20 days ago as of the recording of this video. Same as the other repository. So they do make updates as needed. It's a very responsive team. Now going into exchanges a bit, LightPayCoin. Let's bring up CoinMarketCap. So CoinMarketCap. We can see that LPC is listed on a number of different exchanges already. There are several exchanges that we are in the works of getting listed on, including KuCoin and one top 30 exchange by volume that I'm not sure if I can divulge yet, but there's a lot coming down the pipe as far as exchanges to add to the liquidity and tradability and to increase the volume of this project. So you can see we're already on Cryptopia, CryptoBridge, Coin Exchange, some of the other lower volume, high popularity exchanges, with currently Cryptopia being our highest volume. The volume as of today is not very high because the price is in a bit of a slump. The exchange, or the entire market, is in a bit of a slump, honestly, but the volume at normal times is upwards of 1 million daily volume per exchange. And normally it's a fight between CryptoBridge and Cryptopia as the leader in volume. Now, concerning wallets, you'll see that there is a Windows, Mac, and Linux wallet. The GitHub icon here is for the command line wallet that I showed you earlier. And there is also an Android wallet for mobile devices. There is an iOS wallet in the works right now. They're finishing it up as we speak. It should be released shortly. So between the three operating system wallets, you can actually do staking. I'm not sure if staking is supported on the command line wallet, but it more than likely is. The mobile wallets do not allow for staking or masternodes, but they do allow for transactions. So you can transfer to your mobile wallet and then use your mobile wallet to actually make payments in stores, at the point of sale systems, or the ATMs once those are released. So those will be very usable as well. So if we take a look at the team, there are a few different people involved throughout different disciplines. The CEO, Damon Bryant, as you can see, he's a PhD in psychology. He represents LPC here in the US. He's the one that goes to the different talks, does the presentations down at UCF and whatnot. So these other gentlemen here are very active on the team, but not being native English speakers, you won't see them around as much in the Discord or during the webinars and so forth. They don't have as much of a public persona as Damon does. He's kind of used to being in the limelight more so than the other gentleman here. So he takes to being the presenter fairly naturally. Down at the bottom of the website, you'll see some contact information. Their headquarters is in Dallas, in Texas. However, they do have, I believe, a couple satellite offices here and there. And we do make fairly regular visits down to Orlando for visits to UCF to give talks there. We actually have another one coming up on October 5th. If you're watching this before then, feel free to join us at the University of Central Florida on October 5th for a presentation around lunchtime with Damon and myself. Just give us a holler over on the Discord if you want some information on that, or send us a message on Twitter. You can see the different links here for contact information. You'll see a phone number listed here. That's actually a direct line to the CEO. He answers all of the phone calls personally, and he's very approachable. I text with him all the time. So the company is it's very transparent as far as who's involved, what's being done, and the moderators. I'm a bit biased in this as I am a moderator, but the mods in the Discord channel, they're very attentive. We try very hard to answer all questions and solve all problems as quickly as possible, and there's enough of us to go around. So the project itself, it not only is transparent in that all of the members of the team are listed right here on the website. The contact information is very clear, and it's direct communication with the team. The project has their GitHub repositories online that anybody can view and download. The wallet is available for any major platform, and the iOS app is coming out shortly. The R&D is already started down at UCF for the point of sales and ATMs. And the partnership with the sister coin, LogisCoin, is already in depth for the what some have referred to as vertical integration for the logistics side of the company or the projects. So LogisCoin is going to be handling that as far as blockchain tech. And they're fairly active on social media. You can check us out on Facebook, Discord. Honestly, we're most active on the Discord. That's where all of the mods spend most of their time, and where most of the community is involved. But check us out. Join us on the Discord. Send me a message. You'll find me under the pseudonym Ace of Space. Drop me a line. Drop me a question. Come in and just chat in the Flood channel. So that's the majority of things to cover for a deep dive into LPC. We can go over the protocols more in depth, but I fear that will just confuse a lot of people. The partnerships are coming in almost daily. As you can see, the team, the roadmap, the white paper, the wallets, all the technology is there for anyone to take a look at. All of the code is there for people to look at. As far as my experience in the crypto world, which is not as in-depth as other professionals, I think LightPayCoin is right. It's the cream of the crop, especially in the masternode world. Most masternode coins, as I've mentioned before, are nothing more than money grabs and a means to essentially steal money from the community. Whereas LightPayCoin, it's not only a legit masternode project, but it's working to solve an important problem in the cryptocurrency world, and that is usability. So everyone, for the most part, has heard of Bitcoin, but there's a very small subset of those people that have actually used Bitcoin because the usability just isn't there. LightPayCoin is working to solve that. If you can take your mobile phone into your grocery store and buy your groceries with crypto, that's going to be a game changer. But here's one point that I saved till the end, because it's kind of the aha of what LPC is doing in the crypto world. Because you already know that there's plenty of other projects out there like XRP and Bitcoin and Dash and whatnot that allow for online payments and crypto payments in general. But what LightPayCoin is trying to do is replace credit cards, essentially. So if you run some sort of retail store, be that online or a brick and mortar store, and you accept credit card payments, you're paying transaction fees. You, the store owner, you're paying fees on every transaction you process over that credit card network. And those fees can really significantly cut into your bottom line. Now, what if you were able to replace that credit card point of sale system from being something that you have to pay for regularly in order to maintain and accept transactions on, to a crypto-based, more secure system for accepting transactions that not only doesn't charge you for every transaction, but actually earns you money? How does that work? So the masternode aspect of LPC is going to be baked into these point of sale systems and the ATMs. So if you have a point of sale device that has a masternode backing it, it has a stake of collateral built into that point of sale device. That means it's generating more collateral the longer it sits there, and it's adding security to the network. It's helping to balance the entire network of that currency. So the more point of sale devices that are out there, the more balance, the faster the transactions, the more secure the transactions will be on that currency. And that's what LPC is doing. So imagine a retailer like Walmart signs up with LPC to exchange all of their credit card machines for LPC point of sale machines. They not only would save a huge amount of money that they're currently paying every month in credit card transaction fees, those point of sale devices will actually be paying back in masternode dividends, the masternode rewards. So they would be making a large amount of money, not just from bringing in fresh customers who want to experience the crypto payment revolution, but also the masternodes backing all of these devices are going to be paying them regularly. So that's a huge point, and that's what Damon and UCF and the team in general, they're all working extremely hard to bring into fruition. So that's my deep dive into LPC, what it is and what it's about. If you've got any further questions, let me know. Drop them down at the bottom here, and I will cover them as I can. But honestly, the best way to get your questions answered is to visit us in the Discord. And on top of that, send us an email, hit us up on Twitter. Definitely drop comments at the bottom of this video. Subscribe so that anytime I update the channel with new videos, you'll get notified. And that's kind of important. Check me out on Twitter at MadAdam99. Check out LPC on Twitter. You can follow me, follow them, subscribe here, be in the know. And I'll talk to you next time. Make it a great day, and love ya. Bye.